We're going to begin the 10-1 work together. And at the beginning here, this is kind of set up how we began with our accounts payable ledger. And we're just going to decide which letter matches the terms down below and what fills in differently. So Classic Appliances uses an accounts receivable ledger. On the blank ledger page above, locations have been identified with letters. To open a new customer account, indicate the location of each of the following items. The customer is Venice Cafe, the account number is 120, and the balance on September 1st of the current year is $390.34. So right away, it actually gives us the item here. So I'm going to actually go by what the letters are. Let's go to account, which would be customer. So our customer is Venice Cafe. So I'm going to look here and I'm going to click A for Venice Cafe, which is number 4. Okay, B is going to be my customer number. Okay, and it says here 120. So account number 120 is B. Okay, C is my date, and it tells us here that that is September 1st. So C for September 1st. D is going to be the word balance. Remember, when I'm just opening a new account, it's going to have balance here, or if I'm moving it from previous. So balance is D. E is going to be my post reference. And because I'm not posting a balance, that's going to be our symbol of the check mark. So that will be E. Okay. F is the debit amount, and we should have a debit balance, but we are not going to have a debit amount here. And that's the same for G. We won't have a credit amount when we're bringing a balance. We'll just have that balance. So F and G are both the 0 blank. So here I'm going to put F. And then down number 8, I'm going to put G. And then we see that there's only one left, and let's just make sure H would be that amount, that balance of $390.34. And I will pick H. So it should go D, F, C, A, E, H, B, G. Okay, and then we move a little bit further down, and it's part of some transactions we're going to journalize. So using the current year, journalize the following transactions on page 9 of the sales journal for Classic Appliances. The sales invoice source document is abbreviated as an S. Classic Appliances operates in a state with a 6% sales tax. No S is needed in the sale number column as of the sales journal because it's already labeled there. So our first one here is on September 2nd. So I'm going to put the date in first. We sold merchandise on account to Lenny Stanford. So I'm going to type in Lenny Stanford. Remember, I don't need to put anything about accounts receivable here. And then it's a sales invoice 221. Okay, and then we know that the debit is what I'm going to record as the total amount that is owed. That includes the sales tax. And so I need to calculate the sales tax. So I'm going to take the total bill of $1,600, and it said up above that it was a 6% sales tax. So I'm going to take that times 6%, and I end up with $96 as my sales tax. Okay, so sales credit is that $1,600, so that's how much I am selling the merchandise for. Add those two together to get my accounts receivable debit, $1,696. So a lot of times you're going to have to calculate what that sales tax is and then what the total bill is here. Okay, on September 6th, we sold merchandise on account to Washington City Schools. Sales invoice 222. And now it says Washington City Schools is exempt from sales tax. So we are not going to have any sales tax payable. So it's going to be the same amount in my accounts receivable debit and my sales credit. Then my next one is on the 7th. Sold merchandise on account to Venice Cafe. Sales invoice number 223. Okay, and it says plus sales tax. So I'm going to take that. I know that my sales credit is $2,560. I'm going to calculate what my sales tax is. So $2,560 times 6%. is going to get me $153.60 in sales tax, and then I will add that to my sales credit, and I will end up with $2,713.60. Okay, so my two credits should equal my debit here. And this is the total amount that would be billed to the customer of what they owe us. Then we have the 15th, sold merchandise on account to Washington City Schools again. We learned earlier that Washington City Schools is exempt from sales tax, so we know that the bill is going to be the same in my accounts receivable debit and my sales credit. Okay, then you can move on to the on your own. And remember that Chapter 10 terms are due today in Google Classroom if you haven't done them yet.